Whether you are a current player, and I'm gonna bet that most of you are, or maybe you jumped off the WoW train a few expansions ago, now is the time to come home.
Hi, my name is Rurikhan and I'm an addict. But it's perfectly fine, you guys. This time is going to be completely different because Chris Metzen is back, Bobby Kotick is out, Blizzard is now owned by Microsoft, which I'm not exactly sure how much more positive that is than being owned by Activision, but according to a recent Bloomberg report, it appears that Blizzard employees report a little bit more happiness under the leadership of Microsoft versus the leadership of Activision, but who the hell knows how true that is, because potentially Microsoft could have just gone over to Blizzard and said, hey listen, we're the boss now, we need you guys to pump out some good PR for us, get people a little bit more optimistic about this purchase. Me personally, I'm looking at it and I'm like, well, can't get any worse, really. But the whole impetus for this particular video is naturally the Chris Metzen presentation over during this year's BlizzCon, where he talked about the future of World of Warcraft, and I would be lying if I was to say that I didn't get at least a little bit hyped. Not just by the Chris Metzen presentation, but also by Season of Discovery, even though Season of Discovery has definitely had a couple of situations that have me on the back foot a little bit. But listen, as a bit of an introduction for those of you that don't know all that much about me, I played World of Warcraft a very long time ago. I didn't play it right on release because I wasn't really employed at the time. I was still studying, so I didn't really have like a steady flow of income. And I asked my parents, hey, can I get some money to play a video game? And they're like, yeah, sure. And I'm like, yeah, but I need it every month. And they're like, money every month? That's a good joke. You got jokes. So eventually when I did get a job, the first thing that I did was like, hey, listen, you only live once. I want to play this video game. I'm going to play this video game. And I bought it right here. Now I actually have two of these boxes. This is the original World of Warcraft box. I actually have two of them. Actually, I don't know if this is the original because I bought it a little bit later. I have two of these because I would buy one for myself and one for my girlfriend at the time. Listen, this was an investment. She's not my wife, so I think it was a pretty solid investment. It paid off. We have two kids, okay? But yeah, I used to have two of these, but yeah. But when I got into the game, it was actually very close to the launch of Burning Crusade. So I actually got that too. Look at this, all physical editions, baby. I love physical editions. Not that it matters a damn thing, because you know, if the internet is out, you're not going to be playing World of Warcraft. But still, I liked having the boxes. It was pretty cool. So played Burning Crusade. Burning Crusade is actually when I did my first rating. Then World of Warcraft's Wrath of the Lich King, which is still my favorite expansion. Also bought two of these. And then this is when I tapped out. I was like, yeah, bro, I think I'm good. I think I'm good. And then eventually I bought this one too, but I never bought this. I only have one of these. This one was for my wife. So she was still playing World of Warcraft when I was like, nah, so I'm out. See, I'm completely out. I'm out of here. But, you know, the recent Chris Metzen presentation has a couple of interesting things. Actually, even before the Chris Metzen presentation, we had Season of Discovery. So why is Season of Discovery something that I'm interested in? So I was never interested in doing classic World of Warcraft because I played classic. I mean, I played vanilla. I played vanilla ahead of the Burning Crusade. And I was like, yeah, I kind of have an idea what this is all about. I don't really need to relive that, so it's whatever. Then I played Burning Crusade, and obviously I don't want to play classic Burning Crusade. The one that almost got me was classic Wrath of the Lich King. But even then, I resisted a little bit because there was still going to be a lot of grind. I had other content that I needed to do, so I was like, whatever, okay? But Season of Discovery is going to be different from vanilla. Season of Discovery seems interesting because there are things to actually discover, even if, you know, they said, we're not going to put out a PTR, we're not going to do PTR things. And there was a PTR online like last week, I think, or was it even this week? I don't know. Time is confusing for content creators, in case you guys weren't aware. But like recently, there was a PTR that was posted, and naturally, Wowhead went in there just like, data mine everything, data mine all the things people need to know. And it's like, yeah, heaven forbid we would actually do any kind of experimentation or any kind of discovery in Season of Discovery. Now, I don't think they actually got all of the runes. and some of the runes they data mined, according to some of the developers, aren't even like accurate. But it was very disappointing to even just see that PTR in there. You know, I was like, bro, why? Why do you need? You specifically said we're not doing a PTR. Like, test your shit internally. It's not my job. It's just straight up not my job. I completely disagree with the whole PTR philosophy. There's always a PTR for everything, so the content is completely spoiled and solved before the game even comes out. I think it's a terrible practice. Now, interestingly enough, they've always done this, right? There's always been a PTR. I was actually looking up, and apparently there was even a PTR for the Burning Crusade. Probably there was even a PTR for the original vanilla. I don't know. I wasn't really checking that stuff back then. The thing is, back then, people didn't really look up this information as much, so it wasn't as relevant. But nowadays, like, everybody that plays World of Warcraft is just constantly on Wowhead looking everything up. And it kind of sucks because they're really, you know, there's not that much left to be discovered. So that's kind of like the thing that has me a little bit excited for Season of Discovery. Whether or not that's going to be a thing, we shall see. I'm probably going to be checking it out, but I don't have a whole lot of faith that it is not going to be a solved game. I mean, it might not be a solved game for the first couple of days, which is probably going to be when it's at its most interesting, but within a week, it's going to be a completely solved game. I have no questions there, because that's always been the case for World of Warcraft. But it'll still be a fun week, maybe. We'll see if that is the case, and we'll see how much I stick with that. But that is not really my long-term plan when it comes to World of Warcraft. Because, you see, when it came to this announcement by Chris Metzen, right? Chris Metzen goes on stage, and he talks about, we got the Worldsoul Saga. The next 3 World of Warcraft expansions are going to propel us into the next 20 years of World of Warcraft. And it's definitely exciting to see one of the OGs, Chris Metzen, come back to the World of Warcraft team and actually write some story, because hells if we don't know that the story has been complete dog shit for quite some time now. Am I right? Am I right? I know that some people are like, oh, but there's there's threads here and there's threads there and listen, World of Warcraft is supposed to be about badass shit. Not supposed to be about all of this. Oh, we're going to the Shadowlands. Like, bro, we should have never gone to the Shadowlands. Let me just make that perfectly clear. Should have never gone to the Shadowlands. That was like one of the biggest mistakes you've ever made. The last truly badass thing that ever happened in World of Warcraft, as far as I'm concerned, was the Legion cinematic. And I didn't really play Legion on my main account because I wasn't really playing World of Warcraft at the time. I think I played it in a North American account for content for Squadron. And it was like, the Legion cinematic was absolutely glorious, and it allowed me to it basically gave me fodder to make fun of the Horde forever, because just that simple. I mean, for those of you that didn't see the Legion Alliance, the Legion cinematic that I'm talking about is basically when Varian, you know, everybody's escaping because everybody's, you know, we went to assault the Legion, we gotta destroy them, take them all head on, blah, blah, blah. And we got beat the fuck up. It was a really good starting mission as well. Like, even just the gameplay of it was really fun. But we go there, we get beat the fuck up, and everybody, you know, people start retreating. Naturally, the first ones to retreat were the Horde, as is to be expected, because they're a bunch of fucking cowards. Let's just be completely honest. It is what it is! It is what it is! If Blizzard doesn't put the war in Warcraft, I will! Horde are cowards, alright? It's just that simple. Now, apparently, Vol'jin is like, oh my god, something grazed me. I have a wound. Oh no, I can't fight anymore. And then Sylvanas goes like, everybody retreat. We gotta run away. And in the meantime, Varian Rin is in there in the front lines, kicking ass. And he's just like, hey, what the fuck? Why is the Horde retreating? Bunch of pussies, dude. I guess we gotta leave too. So, as we're retreating, like an Infernal grabs onto a ship or something, an Alliance ship, and Varian just goes like, for Azeroth, and he just, most badass thing we've had in years in World of Warcraft.
Varian! Take my hand! We can't break free! Varian! Varian!
Take this to my son.
Yeah!
because since then, like, what really badass thing has actually happened in, like, I don't know, friggin' BFA or whatever. There's not that many badass moments, I feel like. I guess in BFA there were a couple of things, but still, Shadowlands was just atrocious. Like, if we could just delete Shadowlands from the World of Warcraft storyline, we would all be better off. And hopefully that's kind of what they do. Dragonflight as an expansion was actually pretty good. But again, not that many badass moments. But anyway, so Chris Metzen gets up on stage, and he's just like, okay, guys, you know, it's time for you to come home. Here's all these stories that we're working on. And at the time, I was thinking to myself, nah, this ain't doing it for me. Like, whatever, there's 3 expansions. What the hell do I care? And then he's like, by the way, first expansion, War Within, we're going to meet the Earthen. Now, I know that for a lot of people this means nothing, but me personally, being a big Dwarven fan, meeting the Earthen, which are essentially the original dwarves, it's like, bro, that's friggin' cool. So it's a whole Dwarven-themed expansion. That's awesome. I don't need it. I don't need this. I don't need this. And then he goes on, by the way, we're also adding this new feature, Delves. I was like, the hell's a Delve? It's like a dungeon that scales to different amounts of players, and it's also going to have difficulty and blah, 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 and all these puzzles and stuff. And I was like, oh, that actually sounds more interesting than current dungeons, because current dungeons are basically like time trials. They're speed runs. That's what they're made for, really. I mean, sure, you run them once when you're leveling up or whatever, and then you can run them on heroic, and it's still a normal dungeon. But once you get to Mythic Plus, it's just speed running. Which, you know, I like Mythic Plus. I like the modifiers. I just don't like the time limits. I'm not a big fan of the time limits because I like taking my time. I like killing a bunch of stuff. I just enjoy tanking in general in dungeons, but I don't enjoy this type of like speedy play style, right? So Delves actually seem like a lot more my speed than the current iteration of dungeons in World of Warcraft. So I was like, huh, Delves is kind of cool, but I still don't need it. And it's like, and Bran Bronzebeard is going to be a companion. And I was like, bro, really? You're going to put my favorite World of Warcraft character, Bran Bronzebeard, as an NPC companion that I can customize and go on adventures with? Okay, that's messed up. That's just messed up. It's like the whole thing is tailor-made for me. And I understand that probably not a lot of people are that excited about a Dwarven-themed expansion, but I was like, bro, I don't know. I'm probably going to have to jump back in and check that out. I've been disappointed by Blizzard so many times, but one of the things I will say, Dragonflight, I think, was overall, feature-wise, it was a pretty good expansion. I had a good time in Dragonflight, and the reason I stopped playing Dragonflight was actually not the expansion itself. Like, Blizzard didn't do anything that pissed me off. It was more so the community and the toxicity around doing Mythic Plus, which is essentially one of my favorite activities to do in the game, and people, they just take themselves way too seriously whenever you're playing Mythic Plus. And it kind of sucks, because, like, you know, I'm playing a video game, and usually World of Warcraft, I don't even do that much content, even though I'm making a video about it, right? I don't even do that much content for World of Warcraft, so it was just something that I was playing in the evenings to unwind, and people are getting stressed the fuck out over whether or not you complete a dungeon. I'm just like, I don't care. I don't care if we complete the dungeon or not. I just want to have a good time. Do the dungeon. Let's get better, and we'll complete it on time next time. Why do you have to be just like fucking stressed out, spazzing out, being upset over somebody messing up a mechanic, or who cares? But yeah, that's kind of like where we're at when it comes to World of Warcraft. People are way too bent out of shape, and I've already said this. If there was a big red button that just gave rewards in the middle of a city, Blizzard wouldn't even have to do dungeons. They could save a whole lot of budget. Just put a big red button in the middle of whatever capital you have for that expansion, and you go in there and you press the button, and bloop, loot pops out. You don't even need to do dungeons. You probably don't even need to do raids, because people will just go there and press the button all day. It's like, hey, everybody gets 5 button presses a day. You get random rolls of loot, and there you go. It's like, I don't know. I just kind of feel like that's the way that the community has gone, which kind of sucks. But in a way, I feel like I'm probably going to try to go in differently this time around. We'll see how things work out, but I'm not really holding out too much hope that it will keep my attention. But I'm willing to give the World of Warcraft team another shot. even after getting burned hardcore by the Diablo 4 team with a fucking dark pattern. Bro, I swear to God, dude. I swear to God. How do... you know I still haven't played Diablo 2 Remastered? Anyway, I just wanted to talk a little bit about this. Let me know what you think about the video in the comment section down below. Let me know what you, if you are excited about War Within or the Worldsoul Saga or whatever. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Stay strong, stay safe. Peace out.